You guys are having the after party? Hi. How are y'all doing? Y'all stayed. Harry, you stayed. You're not crashing? So, Overlord, when you get here... Okay, so that means you were probably about 30 seconds, Overlord. So it varies. It seems to vary. That's good to know. That's good to know. But, guys, we are on the third... No, we're on a whatever number of videos we are, and we've got the prompts to do, which were for ethereal, supine, travesty, alluring, calm, and diaphanous. I guess I should explain it. I'm acting like everybody who watches this video is going to know what's going on, and only you guys know what's going on. So if you're coming into the video and you're watching it and you're from YouTube or Instagram and you have no idea what's going on, my name is Angelique and I'm from the Breath of Daydreams. And in the chat moderating, you have the Overlord, VJHD.writer, and we are the co-founders of the Society of Secretly Perfect Poets, which is a group over on Instagram who writes poetry, part of a poetry community, as it were, who is filled with poetic writing kitty cats. And one of the things we do is we give out secret prompts all the time, and we give out secret prompts during these lives that you can write to if you want to join, and then you're able to join the kitty cats. You get turned into a kitty cat, and then you suddenly get to see all of the kitty cats too. Hi, everybody coming in. Thank you for still being here. So we enjoy this. We like to encourage each other. We all have our own voice. We do everything from writing to forms to writing silly nursery rhyme. We just finished doing a zombie nursery rhyme live for Brain Awareness Week. We like to write to different important topics like Brain Awareness Week or endangered animals. I can't tell you what we're doing this week, but it's kind of fun too. And then we do serious stuff. We do macabre stuff. We do challenges. Most of our poetry is 16 lines or longer. Sometimes it's 20. One time in the chat, the guys volunteered for themselves to make it 100 lines. Right? That's crazy, but they did it. They did it. And so we just have a good time encouraging each other and writing. And if you want to join in, we invite you to. The gang's here listening and watching, and they've been here tonight watching all the other videos, because usually on Instagram we do lives until they started glitching on us and not letting me do them. And we have several topics that we go throughout the live, but tonight we're breaking them up because YouTube's different. So we're breaking them up into little sections for you guys. And they're sticking around to watch all of it because they just love supporting each other that much. And they love doing the poems because we're freaking fabulous. They're freaking fabulous. And we're just happy to be here. We're happy kitties. So come join us, won't you? Be a perfect poet yourself. And with that in mind, the prompt that they had to write to for this set of poems that I will be reading is ethereal. They had to use all these words in a 16-line or more poem. Ethereal, supine, travesty, alluring, calm, and diaphanous. And they had about 20 hours to write to it before they had to get it to us. So they had to write a 16-line plus poem to those words in less than 20 hours, get it to us. But I have it on good authority, because I've seen them, that a couple of people went for the golden ticket. What's the golden ticket, you ask? Shh, we can't tell you unless you're part of the society. It's a secret. And you get an actual golden ticket. There's a couple of people who went for the gold ticket, which was to write an ode using those words. So that means they had to write 30 plus lines, at least 3 10-line stanzas, and a couple of people did it. So so excited to read these. And thank you guys for being here. Let's get our poetry on, shall we? So who is the first person to try? We have the Overlord. So the Overlord is the first one we will be reading. We are fabulous, Kels. Yes, we are. We are possum. We are Meow-rific. We are a meowsing. Kelsey says, wait, I didn't realize it had to be that long. Is yours not 30 lines for your ode? I haven't counted them. Oh, an ode is 30 lines or more. For an ode to be an ode, it's 30 lines usually. It's 3 stanzas of 10 lines often, or it's what ours is. The original prompt is 16. Well, appreciate you being honest, because yeah, I would have counted it. But not everybody did the ode, and it'll still count towards the normal. I didn't do the ode either. Overlord's giving you the option to add. Yes, 3 10-line stanzas, Harry, but they also have to, it has to be an ode. So it's not just 3. It's not just 10 lines. Quick, add more now. So, shall we get started while Kels figures out if she needs to add more? The first one is by VJHD writer, the Overlord, who is in the room, and their piece is called A Music Therapist's Son. A Music Therapist's Son. An ethereal beauty is that of a symphony, hummed by a soft and delicate voice in my ear. A strum of guitar, a stroll on the keys, my calm to the storm inside of me. An alluring surprise to turn mundane into theater, a laugh for an errand, holding hands as I learn. A diaphanous glow as she pins down her lyrics, biting her tongue as she ponders the rhymes. A travesty when she cried tears with a smile, a mother's heart forever sadly smiling. Supine we lay to gaze at the stars, the truth of the world just slightly out of reach. How will she survive, I wonder? Does anyone see the devastation before us? She pulled on the strings surrounding my world to fill in the gaps, to find who I was. She, the only one who understands my mind. The winds and turns I tend to take, I venture out, but never far. My home with her was always calm, a mother's love so reverent, a son admiring strength and softness. She was kind, and I was hers, a man of honor, a son she will always be proud of. Music found us in the saddest moments, brought us to an ethereal place. A thief in the night took her heart for himself. The fates have been dealt. The reaper had claimed our song for a smile of tears on her face. Forever, my heart right there in her hands. She would have died for me to live. Had the fates thought to give her a chance, she looks to the future. I messed that up. Forever my heart right there in her hands. She would have died for me to live had the fates thought to give her a chance. She looks to her future whilst holding all the huggles I ever gave her. All the times she caught me falling were immeasurable, yet a second chance we never got. I'll stand beside you when you falter, give you the strength you always showed me. I know you'll love me no matter where I am. I'll be whispering ditto in every song in the air, for I know your heart can hear me. Forever my mother, eternally your son. Kelsey says, no, count me out. I guess I don't remember hearing the link. Sorry, Kels. Leslie says, the golden ticket eludes me. It likes to frolic in the nether regions of my universe within a black hole. Sorry, Leslie. That is what I read on Google when I researched it. That's what I was going based on. We said it multiple times in the video, so I'm sorry that you didn't get it. But we said that there many times. This is a lovely poem. This is a really lovely poem, Overlord, and you can feel the love that you have, that is given for this person, that was taken away from the mother. Yes, it still fits the original prompt. Absolutely. It still fits the original prompt. It just doesn't fit what we required. And sometimes whenever there's forms on, don't Google what Google says, listen to what we say, because sometimes if Google says multiple things, or if it says there's options just to make it more challenging for y'all, we'll add an option, we'll add something to it, because the golden ticket shouldn't be easy to get. It's the golden ticket. So, and it's a, yes, this is a great piece. Yes. And you do still fit the original prompt too, Overlord. And you can feel the reverence in this. You can feel the love going in both directions with this. I like that you did not pretty it up too much. You really wrote from the heart, and it's really, really beautiful, gorgeously beautiful. Cal says, lovely poem. Harry says, it was a great piece. Leslie says, such an uplifting poem, a celebration to a mother who is, the son is no longer there. It's a celebration to a mother who's still there, but the son is no longer there. Ave says, golden. Harry says, I get many conflicting results for poetry forms and rules using Google. Yes. Overlord says, actually, it's the other way around, Leslie. The son died. And it's very moving. Harry agrees. It is. And I like the way that they use the fates in here as well. So they brought that in too from a previous prompt, even just the idea of it. So really good job. And I like the way I'll be whispering ditto in every song in the air, for I know your heart can hear me. Truly beautiful. And so the next, oh, I have multiple of that. Oh, I don't want to read mine next after that, because mine is not beautiful in any way, shape, or form. And so this will be an example of how we all go in different directions with the prompts. So the next is myself from the Breath of Daydreams. And mine is called, I also did not go for the golden ticket. I did almost bare minimum. And mine is called Dinner Date. Diaphanous woebegons translate the mounting copulation of my ne'er-to-do will into a symphony of forgotten sombritude. Tread carefully upon the alluring calm of this illusionary manifestation, for danger lay within the confiding arms of splendor's smile. Hold on. Give me 1 second. My Bluetooth is not wanting to connect to the correct. Though I guess since I'm here by myself, I don't have to actually use these anymore, do I? The prompt, Aves, was you have to use the words ethereal, supine, travesty, alluring, calm, and diaphanous in a 16-plus line poem, or if you're going for the golden ticket, in a 30-plus line ode. That was the prompt, Aves. And so the first really deeply moving one was the Overlords, and this is mine from the Breath of Daydreams, called The Dinner Date. Or no, it's just called Dinner Date. Diaphanous woebegons translate the mounting copulation of my ne'er-to-do will into a symphony of forgotten sombritude. Tread carefully upon this alluring calm. No, tread carefully upon the alluring calm of this illusionary manifestation, for danger lay within the confiding arms of splendor's smile. Desire barely hazards awareness. This hunger, this drive, is pure survival. Radiant and abject entropy, feel the titillation of hunter's attention, submit to the ethereal wayside of a carnivorous soul, lay supine within the belly of this beast, and thrash gloriously while reflecting on the wanton travesty of your decision. I know I will be. And that's mine. And next, we have I guess I should actually, I'm not breaking it down, but I will say I didn't know what to write to. And I forget where my train of thought went. Diaphanous. I started with diaphanous, and I thought, ooh, I can write a fairy thing. Tommy says, beautiful, thank you. I thought I can write a fairy, but I wasn't in a fairy mood. And then I thought about pretty flowers. And then I thought about, well, there's really pretty flowers that eat creatures. And then I thought about all the animals that eat each other. And I was like, I'll go in a different direction. And so I did. And next we have The Ghostly Poet. And this is called My Distorted Self. Living became a travesty. I say this with all the strength within. All those times, how many times did it happen? These attempted deaths, not by my hands. Alluring and calm hold no air here. My soul, this heart, this mind and body, it is all drowning in deaths I vaguely remember. I have a hard time believing what's real. Memories dissolving little by little, a salty ethereal. I no longer know if my life is really my life. Supine in this bed, these stains on the ceiling, I lay there thinking, feeling, trying to make sense of this life I apparently keep living. This diaphanous quilt in bed no longer feel as such. I'm a ghost in the world I live, half dead, yet I am alive. The poem describes something so confusing. I mean, the mental aspects of it, as somebody would go through this, would have to be so challenging. Harry says, Casper does dark so well. And Tommy says, powerful. Yes, absolutely. Um, and that the first line of that second stanza, allure and calm hold no air here. Boy, that says everything. My soul, this heart, this mind and body, it is all drowning in deaths. Deaths I vaguely remember. And I like that part. In the last stanza, he says, I'm a ghost in this world I live, half dead, yet I am alive. And yet, up in that second stanza, what that just described is almost like it is like the deaths are ghosts in and of themselves, escaping his memory, their phantoms, um, as well. And then going into that third stanza where I have a hard time believing what's real, memories dissolving little by little, a salty ethereal, a salty ethereal. That's powerful. To make sense of this life I apparently keep living. Apparently. I mean, there's these little words there that really skew our thoughts in a very specific direction. He's laying everything out so incredibly well. And then such an interesting phrase, this diaphanous quilt and bed no longer feel as such. I'm in the ghost in this world I live, half dead, yet I am alive. No longer feel as such. So the very idea that a diaphanous quilts in bed, like a ghost, would suddenly become heavy. Casper says, salt in the wound is what I was going for there. Yeah, I thought you were. I mean, it's just, I like the way that you used that to express that. You used the ethereal in that way. And with the salt, I thought that was really smart. Um, I haven't seen that word combination often, so I really like that a lot. But this is another one of your incredibly written poems on what you're dealing with and what you're struggling with, and you spell that challenge out for us so well. Thank you. There's a chemistry definition for ethereal. Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that. What's the chemistry definition? And up next, we're going to have Whimsical Wisdoms underscore by Cal. Cal says, looking back at my poem, I may have 30 lines, but let you decide, I guess, if it's long enough. Overlord, can you check for me? It's 7 slides of poems, and it's up to you guys. I was going to count them, Cals, because I thought when I originally looked at it, I thought you had 30 lines. My mouse is, don't worry about it. I can look it up, Casper. Don't worry about it. I'll look it up after the show. Overlord saw it too. I'm just curious what it is. Not questioning it, but curious. And so this is whimsical, but you did phenomenal job, Casper. Pardon the sirens. Um, this is Whimsical Wisdoms _ by Kels. O death, how I long for you to sweep me away in your ethereal eyes. Many think your alluring travesty will be my end, but I know your demise will be my friend. O death, how I ache for the taste of your lips to meet me in this supine life of mine. For what I'll lose in you as my heart rips cannot measure to the gain soaked in this wine I sip. O death, your sting is felt for only a moment, and following your entrance is pure enjoyment. Your calm lingers in my open fingers as diaphanous dreams stretch my searching wings. O death, most would run from your entrapping grip, for your dance mocks their hallowing heart. But to gain my inheritance from this world, I must someday part. O death, take me in your arms. I will not be alarmed. I know your power has no hold on me, for meeting you brings heaven's symphony. O death, my friend, life truly begins when I lose this world in you. To die is gain when I sustain the breath promised in my Savior's truth. O death, my spirit knows who reigns. I have a hope who never wanes. When my Creator declares the time of this body splinter will be my snowfall in winter. And Kels does say, no, I'm not suicidal. I'm simply writing to my belief that there is more to life after death when we follow Christ. I believe I need to be here as long as God puts breath in my lungs until it's time for the rest of eternity with him. Philippians 1:21 says, for to me to live is Christ, is to die is gain. This was really beautiful. Tommy says, amazing writing. Harry says, catch the mouse, Casper, you're a kitty. This was beautiful, Kels. You really captured that ode aspect of it with the oh death, how I long. You can feel the adoration, the longing, the acceptance and beauty in what your belief is and what you're expressing and who you're speaking to. Oh, thank you for letting me, Kelsey. And you can really see and hear your faith throughout this. It rings really true throughout it, and it reads how very important it is to you. I like the way that you mixed up that you blended some of your words with the rhymes in different ways. Like I love where you hit supine life of mine, and I like the way that you used gains soaked in this wine I sip. I also like where you got to your calm lingers in my open fingers, and then double D, the diaphanous and dreams stretch my searching wings. It's really beautifully expressed. There is an etherealness running through it, which is quite lovely, especially considering what the subject matter is. And again, hallowing heart is really glorious. I like the way as you're going through saying these, you hit certain punctuations, like I will not be alarmed. I know your power has no hold on me. So you really capture the theatrics. It's a beautiful, but you're not being theatrical. You're just being adoring, worshiping, and that is, it's a very beautiful poem. And Casper says, I went with the sentence they provided in the Oxford Language Dictionary of sodium is dissolved in ethereal solutions of aromatic ketones. Salt dissolves in blood, so I went for it. That works. That works, Casper. And that's cool. I did not know that they used ethereal solutions in that way. I'd never heard of that. So that is really nice. And thank you, Kels. That's really pretty. I imagine that people who have your same faith system will read this and be extremely moved by it. So very, very beautiful. Well, thank you for letting us read them, Kelsey. We always appreciate your time and respect for writing the words. I mean, you make deeply beautiful, lovely poetry, and I know that it's well known that probably by now it's really well known that I'm not religious, but that doesn't mean that I can't respect what your belief is and that this is important to you, and I deeply respect that. And I think it's important to honor that when reading these poems. And so, as part of the honoring of them, what I try to do is show them respect without pretending like I believe the same thing, because I think that would be a disrespectful thing for me to do. But I can still respect the beauty and the honor and the faith that you have and what it means to you. And I think that's important. All the love. Yes, love, love, love. Um, um, Casper says, great piece. I read this twice after you posted it. It is a beautiful poem. It truly is. And next we have Leslie Nashabella. And Leslie's poem is called Night Rapture. Night Rapture. Night's Rapture. Sorry about that. The sun was dipping below the horizon, the air imbued with the scent of lilac musk. She embarked on a walk at dusk. Ethereal and diaphanous thoughts inundated her mind, billowing like brumous clouds of smoke as she pondered the travesty of life's fleeting moments. Each step transformed the world around her into an alluring end, where the fringe between reality and dreams blurred. Calm drops of beauty washed over her soul, soothing the restlessness within. She marked her need to lay on the grass supine, watching the night grasp the sky. With closed eyes, nature serenaded her ears. The rustle of leaves, the distant hoot of an owl, and the distant chirping of crickets formed a chorus that drowned within her. It was a rapture. She disported herself by the glow of night into interconnectedness of all living things. Overlord says, yes, beautifully balanced, Kels. And Kel says, yes, I know religion can be a touchy subject, but I would never want anybody to pretend to be or believe anything they don't believe. I really appreciate being heard, though. Absolutely, Kels. And really appreciate you letting and trusting us with that. Truly do. Tommy says, wonderful imagery, Leslie. Kel says, that was amazing. It was. It was. I love that you say it was rapture, that she disported herself by the glow of night into interconnectedness of all living things. And I love that you brought in not just the distant hoot of an owl, but the distant chirping of crickets forming that chorus, because I miss the chirping of crickets and the owls and the little frogs all doing their thing. There is something so musical, that is such an exquisite symphony to lay back in the grass and hear the wind blowing over the grass and through the tree limbs, and looking up at the stars, watching the clouds float by, or looking up at the clouds if it's a cloudy day, and just being in that moment. But anytime I think of those sounds, I always think of night and just seeing that exquisite star-filled sky, especially since at the beginning you say the sun was dipping below the horizon. So it's just turning into that magical dusk hour, and the air imbued with the scent of lilac musk. She embarked on a walk at dusk. I mean, you create the magic of that moment of being able to be outside somewhere where it's, a little bit wild, not urban, and just drink all that in and feel your body grounded with the earth. And this is just lusciously beautiful. Um, Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So thank you so much. And next up, we have TM DeSorrow. TM DeSorrow, and that is Tommy. That is quite the image, Tommy. I like it, but wow. Is Instagram letting you put that up? I'm just curious out of morbid curiosity, because I know some of the stuff it's taken down. Are you being allowed to use that, or has it like censored you? And I believe Tommy's went for the golden ticket. So we'll have to check it afterwards. But da-da-da-da. I won't put that on IG. It's on my, oh, I see. I see. Well, this is Ethereal Dreams, and I think Tommy might have just won himself a golden ticket. Ethereal Dreams. How could I have ever known your letters would forever be engraved as namesakes into stone, markers for my history? Watching clouds create your face against the blue in sweet supine. By grace, these memories still unwind inside this field of green sublime. Let me start over. Ethereal Dreams by TM DeSorrow. How could I have ever known your letters would forever be engraved as namesakes into stone, markers for my history? Watching clouds create your face against the blue in sweet supine. By grace, these memories still unwind inside this field of green sublime. Salvation's often found between the stirrup and the ground. That line is not all my own, yet somehow soothes my aching soul. An ode to love ethereal is far more than a story told. The weight of words you left me as a burden for the ages. A spirit passenger, ghost of blessings, blood for empty pages. Alluring is the summer sun now setting in my mind. How could I ever have seen the calm before the storm you caused? Adoring touch beyond my grasp, a question, what I failed to ask. Seeing chances flying by like kites of red without their tails, it never fails. These metaphors keep coming back to you. A circle of deceit, yet truth abounds outside the lines. A travesty of trust becomes a must from time to time. Now moments melt to days, and sadly, back to you again. Counting beats and syllables and rhyme schemes with my pen. Grappling with the weather, cold of summer, what was said. Smirky smile like crescent moons now rising in my head. How could I have ever left before you thought to say goodbye? Much the same as counter strikes before the battle starts. Broken hearts are nothing new, but hurt much like the first. We drink until we get our fill, but still we die of thirst. They switched the child at birth, you see, created false reality. Duality is nothing more than eyes adjusting to the dark. But yet it only takes a spark to fan a fire to words like flames. Diaphanous inside a name. She got too close and burned. No lessons learned, love still elusive, lying in my bed. Seems my goals are out of focus, forever twilight in my head. It's a beautiful poem. I'm not sure it's an ode. I'm going to have to check on that. I'm not sure. But it's a gorgeous poem. It starts out with such longing and so much beauty, and the rhyme that you use and the rhythm that you use really creates this dreamy sort of scape. And I like the way, especially as you bring the ein back into the middle, that really does it. Welcome back, Alyssa. Hope you're having a good day and it hasn't been too long for you. And then the weight of words you left me as a burden for the ages. A spirit passenger, ghost of blessings, blood for empty pages. That's a heck of a thing. Good timing for a long life, says the Overlord. Alluring as the summer sun now setting in my mind. And you bring summer up again, the cold of summer. And people don't often talk about the cold of summer, but grappling with the weather, cold of summer, what was said. And so that makes me, that really plays to or emphasizes the emotional aspects of this. And I don't think I've ever heard of a smirky smile like crescent moons. I actually kind of like that. But that's kind of cool. That's really cool wording to use. But what throws me, and I'm wondering, down here in the third stanza where it says, they switched the child at birth, you see, created false reality. What do you mean by that? What? That part throws me. So have you been talking about a changeling this whole time? Diaphanous inside a name, she got too close and burned. Ode to loss, says Tommy. I can see that kind of. I mean, obviously, I can see it, the loss. Um, Tommy says, yet open to interpretation. I'll have to discuss it with the overlord and look up, because I don't feel that I'm smart enough to know on this one. But it's a gloriously exquisite poem. But I want to know, what is the switch the child at birth you see created false reality? What is that? Or is that what you're saying, open to interpretation? Duality is nothing more than eyes adjusting to the dark. Thanks for the read. No, you're welcome. Thank you for writing to it. It's a gorgeous poem. I still want to know what the changeling at birth part is, because that takes me into a whole fantasy kind of realm on things. And then especially since you've got like the twilight in my head and the crescent moons and diaphanous inside a name, there's little things peppered through here that can play that up. And so the summer sun, I'm wondering about that. So really beautifully done. Thank you, Tommy. And for our final poem of the evening, we have Alyssa behind her teeth, and I do not see a title. Harry says changeling at birth sounds devastating if it's an ode to loss. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Harry says, seems to me like a literal swap at birth, maybe meaning they swapped back eventually. And Alyssa says, no titles ever. So on the front of your slides, are those not titles then, whenever you do them on your page? Casper, a loss of the family maybe, or lots to be interpreted. I can see yours as a node. Yeah. Exactly. Overlord says you titled Droopy Doll in your hourglass one. All of her stuff has titles on the front, or at least it looks like titles. Well, this is Untitled by Alyssa. They wrote us chewing bubble gum, ethereal beauties bathed in pink and sparkles, wrapped in wishes meant for Eden's non-existent. And who were we they hold on. Let me start over. They wrote us chewing bubble gum, ethereal beauty. Starting over. They wrote us chewing bubblegum, ethereal beauties bathed in pink and sparkles, wrapped in wishes meant for Eden's non-existent. And who were they to create this character of woman so calm and alluring, much like whimsical waters, when really the surface hides an untamed current? We are not diaphanous. Beware that things are often murky. What a travesty, what disappointment. The idea that these luscious ladies with the pull of the tide might topple you, might rough you up into a frantic frenzy, might frighten you. instead of sitting pretty. A supine sanctuary for your taking. We are not. We aren't here just for your waiting. Sure, mystical maidens perfect in their making, however we may be. Even if we're sugar, spice, and spikes, we are more wondrous than their simple writing. What are you talking about, Overlord? When is a door not a door? When it's a pathway leading to another room? Did I miss something? I recently noticed Malrose titles her pieces too, but it's buried in cat. I wondered that as I was reading. So that was a title in the hashtag. Okay. I love a good title. Well, they certainly resemble titles. Tommy says, beautiful writing. Alyssa says, and silence, right? It sucks whenever the silence hits. It always hits on mine. I think everybody's decided I don't like to talk about my poetry, so it just goes quiet. Or maybe it's too dark. I don't know. Maybe they don't like it. But no, this is gorgeous. I really like that you're going, just because you say we're supposed to be this way doesn't make it true. We can be this other thing, and that's okay. But I love this. There's a smartassery to it too. Um, Good night, Tommy. Thank you for writing and staying, and hope you have a good night. You are welcome. Um, but I like that where she's like, uh, and who were we to create this character of woman so calm and alluring, much like whimsical waters, when really the surface hides an untamed current? We are not diaphanous. Be aware that things are often murky. What a travesty. What disappointment. The way that she puts the exclamations there to like really amplify that. Reads very nicely in this. The idea that these luscious ladies with the pull of the tide might topple you, might rough you up in a frantic frenzy, might frighten you. Her connaissance play, the way that the words sit on the mouth is really gorgeous, switching back and forth between the S's and the L's, those O's, and then going to the F's and the T's. I mean, it's just, it tastes good on the tongue. A supine sanctuary for your taking, we are not. We aren't here just for your waiting. Sure, mystical maidens, perfect in their making. However we may be, even if we're sugar, spice, and spikes, we are more wondrous than their simple writing. It is, Harry. It's gorgeously written. So thank you so much, Alyssa, for writing. Beautiful. Harry says the surface hides an untamed current. Um, I think this was a gorgeous poem to end the night on. What do you think, Overlord? And very nice, he says. And I agree. It is very, very nice. So that is everybody who wrote to the prompt from last night. And then from the other videos, y'all have all the prompts to put together the line that is for the poem for next week that needs to be into us by 11:59 p.m. on Saturday, Central Standard Time. 16 line minimum. And if you want to go for the gold ticket, you have to turn it into an onomatopoeia. So that should be fun. I look forward to seeing what y'all create. I loved your poems tonight. Everybody wrote such deeply moving, and most people wrote really personal poems. It was just a gorgeous, gorgeous read. And it was a lot of fun earlier doing the zombies in the classroom and the poems written by people outside of the society from the first video. We had a really good time. It wasn't a joke. It was a ramble. It doesn't count. What? What wasn't a joke? What was a ramble? I'm so confused. Huh? Well, whatever y'all are talking about, I hope that you have a wonderful evening and look forward to seeing you next time. May your paws stay inky. Bye.